with you, I'm bisexual, but during lockdown, I'll admit, I was strategically gay. I think that was the only way to go. When dating became such that you had to meet strangers in parks, and also you had to believe the other person when they said they washed their hands. I'm not doing that with men. I also think that ultimately, if you are bi, I don't really know why anybody would be choosing men. Yeah, no offense, it's just that we smell better and you're violent. So... The men who don't laugh at that unnerve me most. Yeah, okay. Good lad, join in. Okay. There are good things about being broken up with. I think one of my favourite things is that I had to get my house sorted, so I got a bunch of DIY done. I think DIY is amazing. DIY, in particular, there's one silver lining, and that is that DIY reminded me of something I had long forgotten the point of, which is, of course, men. You're amazing, aren't you? Specifically, I'm a fan of a subgenre of men. They're called handymen. Do we know these guys? Oh my God, they're wizards. I love them. They do magic. I adore them. You're not sold. That's okay. I had one lad in one day, had a bunch of photos and art on the floor, left, came back, on the wall. Oh, I'm sorry, these guys are defying gravity and you're not impressed by that? Incredible. I'm obsessed with them. I love them. I also had one day where I had 2 men in, I know, very exciting, and I had a bookcase, right, that needed bolting to the wall. I said, can you bolt that to the wall? They said, yeah, of course we can. I said, cool. Just so you know, even if you bolt it to the wall, the floor is uneven, so it will wobble. They said, no, don't worry about that, sure, we'll just get some extra wood and pop it under it. What? I said, don't worry about that, sure, we'll just get some MDF and pop it under it. What is this witchcraft? Here's the thing, Apollo. They did. I was like, I will suck you both off. Obviously, I had to think about it afterwards because head was my first reaction, only my first reaction, I think a normal one. My second one was, of course, to wonder how I am a woman in her 30s who doesn't know how to do any DIY. And I think the obvious answer there is that men are keeping it a secret to remain relevant. And that's not on me, right? But I do know some women can do DIY. I date soft butches, I'm aware. But genuinely, I mainly know because a woman came to my house from British Gas, very modern, and she fixed my boiler, right? And after she was done, she said, okay, that's all done, all sorted. Just before it works, you will need to bleed the radiators. I said, what? She said, oh, for that to work, you're just going to need to bleed the radiators. I said, the butch one left. What are you saying? Sorry? Can't really hear you behind all of my hair. What's happening? She goes, do you want me to show you how to do that? I said, is that allowed? Women in the room, look at me. Come here to me now, focus, right? Did you know that that is just turning a key and waiting for liquid? It is basic hand job stuff, and no one will tell you. Here's the thing. Every man in my life has acted like that as a state secret, right? This man's furious, I'm telling you. You now have all the information you need. You're free, run. My dad bleeds a radiator in such a way that I thought he used his own dick. I thought there was actual blood involved. He'll go off with a bunch of tissues being like, I will do it, do not look, I will do it. Anyway, she fixed my boiler, so I was like, I will eat you out. They all said no, I had to pay both times. It's hard out there.
And so because of how everyone behaves, I'm trying to get in shape, but I don't like going to the gym, so I've started going swimming, because obviously it works every muscle and I enjoy being wet. But I don't like going when the little shits are in the pool. Do you know, on a school trip? Splashing around. Oh, aren't we cute? No, fucking drown them. But I thought, do you know what? If you don't like going when there's a school trip on, just don't go then. And this is how I learned that you can't get away with anything with this voice. So I rang the leisure centre in advance and I spoke to the girl on reception. I was just like, hi, babe, I'm thinking about coming down to the pool this afternoon. Can I just check, will there be any children in it? She was like, why? And I was like, oh, I just want to know if there's any fit ones. Why do you think? I didn't know perverts were so brazen. Hiya, Janice, I'll have a ginger at lunchtime. Are you a straight?
I'm straight, yeah.
And you're enjoying this?
Yeah, I am.
What's your name?
Tim.
Tim, because you're really fit, Tim. You're very confident. No, you should see him. I mean, you will when you watch the telly, because this man's filming him. But he is very, very handsome and very confident as well. Like, he sat there, he's like, open body language, legs are spread. Like, if I fall off, it's like, dinner. I'm an artist. What was I talking about, Tim? Oh, me, sorry. No, because I've never really done the straight sex thing. I haven't. I've never done boy and girl thing. I've never done straight sex. I haven't because I find it disgusting, unnatural, and don't think it should be taught in schools. Stop it, I'm a professional. And I must be honest with you, like, my life's not all been glitz and glamour. Like, before this, I actually used to work at the NHS. Do we have anyone in from the NHS? Oh, yeah. What do you do?
I'm a psychologist.
Oh, you're a psychologist? I don't want to know. So I worked for the NHS, but I worked at the PCT, do you know, the Primary Care Trust? And basically that's like the headquarters for the NHS, so it's where you lot ring up and be like, the NHS is terrible! And I'd be like, well, we're trying, and then have a mint aero. I did love it, though. We worked in this office block, like, and we worked on the 13th floor, and I worked on reception with Pat and Lorraine, and I think I only got the job, really, because they were in their 80s and needed someone that could work a computer. One of my main duties was that we'd have these, like, monthly community meetings where you lot could come in and ask what changes are happening with the NHS. And my boss, Nigel, right, he hated me. He had proper small man syndrome, dressed in Burton's, bad gay. He'd always come out and he'd be like, Stephen, you have not set up the meeting room properly. I was like, I have, Nigel. You can't mess it up. It's just putting out a row of chairs. And he's like, well, you have left no room for wheelchair access. And I was like, listen, babe, if they've made it up 13 flights of stairs, they can roll round one chair. Do you know what I mean? Let's not patronise people, OK? Equality for all. Right, so like I say, I'm single, but I really am one of those persons where I'm sorry, I do want a boyfriend. I really want a boyfriend. I've been working my whole life. I need a man to look after me. And I know that's not very feminist of me, but I'm not a woman, so... Shove me in the kitchen and do whatever you want to me.
I think we've got a problem. I think we're using the word Muslim far too quickly. It's a political rally now, don't worry. There'll be levels at knobhead. Don't encourage me, because I'm sure she's lovely. I think she's despicable. No, I don't have a problem with Muslims in Birmingham at all. Happy to have them. I think they add to our city and to our culture. I think the big problem we have in Birmingham, it's happening around the country, actually. We have a lot of artisan coffee shops. You know, when I hear the phrase struggling to cope, I think of, I don't know, a single mother trying to juggle a career, childcare, heartbreak. I don't think of someone cooking a fucking egg. So I'm boycotting them now, boycotting them. Oh, we've got a 24-hour Starbucks.
People ask me, they say, Chris, what is it like trying to raise a child when you can't see the child? It's ups and downs, you know, ups and downs. You just got to go with the flow. Can't prepare yourself, you know. She's 3.5 now. When she was 2.5, if you haven't got kids, by the way, as soon as they get to 2, they're adorable. They just start asking questions. They want to know what everything is. You are their source of information. They want to absorb the world. My daughter, she's 2.5. She's in the bath. I'm knelt there. I'm bathing her. She's like, what's this, Daddy? What's this, Daddy? I don't bloody know, do I? Give it here. Just... You might be 2.5, but you know way more than Daddy at this point, sweetheart. Yeah. What's this, Daddy? Ice cream? I was like, ice cream? Big handful of shit, wasn't it? Massive. Not like a little pebble, not like a little arse sweetness. Where did that cut? An impressive quantity for an adult male. I wasn't entirely sure the dog hadn't jumped in and done it when my back was turned and she just scooped it out. She just slapped it in there in one go. It threw me. I didn't... Look, right, I obviously didn't see it coming. I didn't even... No. I didn't even smell it coming. This came from underwater. This was a stealth move, right? And I'm not entirely sure exactly what happened, you know. I've narrowed it down to 2 options, I think. I've given it some thought. I mean, she was 2.5. Let's give her the benefit of the doubt. She deserves the benefit of the doubt, doesn't she? Option 1, benefit of the doubt. This is what happened. She sat in the bath of the warm water. Yeah? She farts. She shits herself. She doesn't know she's done that. A few minutes later, that goes floating past her in the bath, doesn't it? She sees it there. She thinks to herself, I wonder what the bloody hell that is. That looks a little bit like ice cream. I know, she thinks. I'll ask Daddy about that. He knows about these things. He's a very, very clever man, yeah? That's option 1, isn't it? Benefit of the doubt. Option 2. She's a bloody comedy genius. She's sat there in the bath. She's got Mr. Penguin up here on the wall. She's got, hey, Mr. Penguin, Mr. Penguin. Get on this now. This is going to be brilliant. This is going to be amazing. Watch his face now. Watch his face. Watch. Keep looking, keep looking. What am I going to do? Not only am I going to do a shit and put it in his hand, I bet you I can make him sniff it. Ice cream, Daddy? Ice cream, huh? We were very lucky with my daughter. They say you got to watch your language around your kids, don't they? That's what they say. We were very lucky. My daughter's first words, apart from hand on heart, apart from mama, dada, baba, all that nonsense, her first words were go away. That's what she said. That's what she said for 3 months. Go away. Go away. She thought it was just one word. Go away. Go away. Why? Because that's what me and my wife said to the dog every time we were trying to feed my daughter. Get the food out, wouldn't we? The dog would get up, he'd go on the prowl, having a little look, wouldn't we? We'd be like, go away, go away, go away. She just picked it up. We'd push her in the pram out on the street. She'd be like, go away, go away, go away. Said to my wife, it's a good job we weren't telling that dog to fuck off, innit? Because we just wouldn't be able to take this kid out of the house.
You know toe rings? They are rings that we wear on our toes. Then we have rings, earrings, rings people wear in their ears, yeah? Eyebrow rings, nose rings, belly button rings. But these ones, rings. Because if these ones were called finger rings... make weddings pretty awkward. With this fingering, make proposal stories really awkward. Oh my God, so last night, John came over and out of nowhere just gave me the most incredible fingering. I know! I'm so happy. I mean, he asked my dad's permission first, obviously. And my dad was like, you go for it, son, you give her that fingering. And he came over, and he looked at her one knee, and he said, darling, I want to give you this fingering. It's the same fingering that my grandfather gave to my grandmother. Also make Lord of the Fingerings, very different film. Okay. There is no one hearing that. Just keep learning. Life's about learning, guys. I will share with you another big thing I learned this year. Very exciting. I learned showering with a partner is not sexy. That does not seem like a big deal, but the world tells you it is sexy. But you try that shit once,
And you very quickly discover that sharing with a partner is not sexy. Sharing with a partner is taking turns being cold. Oh, yeah. A lot of do-si-do action, a lot of, let's move around this way. Oh, why? Because I'm goddamn freezing. I'm freezing. And a lot of kissing like this. But mainly, as I get older, I just keep finding out shit that I'm wrong about. Like, you grow up and you go, I know these things, I'm sure, and then wrong. The last time I was in your lovely country, I was on one of your lovely overland trains. You know, the ones that have the toilets with the electronic science fiction doors that go, wage, wage. Now, I was sure I knew how to lock those. Nah, turns out I know how to shut them, yeah. And 12-year-old boys on the other side know how to push the open button. And I don't know if you've ever been sat on the toilet when the door opens, but look, it's everything you dream it will be. And a little bit more. Now, the thing with those doors is they take quite a long time to open. So I was desperately trying to find the close button, eventually found the close button, but the thing is, as they take quite a long time to open, similarly, take quite a long time to close. So I got to maintain eye contact with an understandably horrified 12-year-old boy as his face was being very slowly covered. It was kind of like this. And it finally shut. I sat back down and went, oh my God, I am never wearing a jumpsuit again.
It's lovely to be here. I've come all the way from Brighton. Just in case you're wondering what this haircut is about. Might be a new face for some of you people. Don't panic, the BBC invited me here because they needed a beige lesbian. So I'm just here to tick some boxes. Not your box, madam, just a metaphorical box. I'm half Spanish, that's what's happening there. I've got a Spanish mum, and she lives here in the UK. It's all very legal. She's lived longer in the UK than she's ever lived in Spain, but the brilliant thing about my mum is that she's never lost her accent. She's done very, very good. Lost the words she cannot pronounce. Lost the words she cannot pronounce, huh? My favourite word that my mum's never been able to pronounce is my brother's name. Difficult name, his name's Stephen. I don't know if you've noticed this, Spanish people, any word that begins with the letter S, they struggle, right? So my mum doesn't call him Stephen, she calls him Steven. What's his name, Mum? Steven. Is it? Isn't it just Stephen? Even if I know his name is my son, it is Steven! You don't want to mess with my mum. She's not like British people here in this country. We can be quite passive-aggressive, can't we? She's just very aggressive woman. I don't know how my mum's never really coped in this country, and I think it's because, like a lot of Mediterranean people, she's quite loud, yeah? She's got one volume, it's like this. Whereas in this country, particularly if we're middle class, we tend to be low talkers, don't we? We don't like to raise our voices, do we? Why? Because we've got money. And we just assume that if you are raising your voice, well, you're probably poor. Or worse, foreign. Great thing about having a Mediterranean mum is they feed you. Oh, my God. She's always feeding. That's her way of showing that she loves her children, is to feed us. You know, I can remember going around friends' houses, you know, like English mums. Go around an English mum's house and the conversation with mum's more like this. I think you've had enough. My mum will feed you till you puke. Anything can be going on in my life and my mum will relate it back to a meal that she's cooked. Do you know what I mean? Like, so good or bad, particularly if I'm depressed. If I phone up my mum and I've had a terrible day, yeah? I phone up my mum, conversation always goes like this. Oh, Jennifer, my God, I'm so sorry to hear that you're having a hard time right now. But you know what? Don't worry, okay? I made a soup. Come home. You sound hungry. I made a chicken carne, made a lamb tagine, made a casserole, Jennifer. I made some tortillas, some paella, some curry, Jennifer. You love baby curry. Maybe some meatballs, some pork ball, beef ball, aniseed ball, banana ball. You're a lesbian. You don't eat enough balls. Please, come home. Eat my balls.
Some people find very strange things entertaining. There are people out there, some people love scary movies. Ugh, I hate scary movies. They're too scary. They scare the shit out of me. Every time I see a scary movie, I'm scared for days. I hate them. But there are people who love them. There are people out there who actively seek them out, who actually enjoy the sensation of being scared by a movie. I've never understood that attitude at all. I've never been frightened in real life and gone, oh, Jesus. Yeah, I'll pay for that. Yeah, all right. That felt horrible. £13? Sure, yeah. Let's go now. Ridiculous. My friend's like this, right? My friend Jason loves scary movies. Jason can't get enough of scary movies. Actually, loves scary movies, Jason. Jason is black, which I only mention because you imagined him white, and he isn't. That's it. His race is not relevant to the joke. I just don't see why he should have the wrong picture. But Jason loves scary movies, and he's always trying to get me to go see him with him, go to the cinema and see scary movies with him. I'm like, Jason, I don't want to pay money to feel worse. That's an illogical exchange. That's a bad transaction, Jace. I don't want to do that. I was thinking about it. It's such a first world privilege. Don't you think? To enjoy scary movies. What a first world Western privilege. I mean, how comfortable is your life that you have to go out and buy a ticket just to know what it's like to feel under threat? You know, no one in the Democratic Republic of Congo saw The Grudge, you know? They don't need that shit. They got real life stuff to deal with. I guess it's a masochism, right, to enjoy a scary movie. A masochism to derive a pleasure from a pain. And I understand masochism, I have to say I do, because I love spicy food. I love spicy food. It hurts me, I'm a little Asian god, but I love it. And if you think about it, spicy foods is actually a lot like scary movies, you know? If it's good, you feel alive. If it's really good, you shit yourself. What else about me? I'm 26. I'm 20 goddamn 6. People often think I'm older, because although I am 26, I look terrible. I look gross and old, I guess. Mothers, lock up yourselves. Old Wang's on the prowl. He gon' get you. I'm a bit fat, I suppose. I don't look great. I'm a bit fat. I don't struggle with my weight. People my shape and size often say they struggle with their weight. They're always very sad. Oh, I struggle with my weight. Oh. I don't struggle with my weight. Struggle implies that I fought back at some point. I didn't. I helped. I was very much an accomplice to my weight. I was no barrier of entry to my weight. My weight knocked at the door and said, "Can I come in?" And I said, "Can I keep playing video games and touching myself?" And my weight said, "Yeah." Oh, come in! Take off your shoes, though. Chinese house. I've been trying to work on my look, though. I've been trying to look better. I'm trying to work on my look. I think it's important for all of us to have a distinct look that we like and to accomplish it as best we can. And so I have settled on the look of Cambodian dictator. It's a pretty strong look. It's been getting me a lot of respect recently. Mainly from Cambodian people. But then I got fun shoes at the end. Racist people think that I'm barefoot, but there you go.
This year, I did no lilt February. Thank you. I know, it sounds impossible, but you take it one day at a time. Did I have any today? No, you're a legend. It gets hard around the middle of the month, you get the cravings. It's called lilt guilt. You're like, oh, I bloody love some lilt. It's the night where you go to the shop at midnight, you kick the doors in, where's the lilt? And they're like, we don't stock it anymore. Like, ah! So you try and make your own hooch lilt, you know, you get a pineapple and a grapefruit, and you add in batteries and a horse's head, and you're like, it's good, but it's not totally tropical. Did that joke in America recently. Turns out they don't have lilt there. So, this is it. This is all I do. Imagine if this was your actual... I go like blah, 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 and you go, ah, ha, 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 money. I can't believe I get away with it. You do actual, proper London jobs. You know, like blacksmith, you know? Farrier. Brunch DJ. The big three. I tell you, I do not trust people who work in offices. I know, right? What are they doing? Nothing takes that long. They're planning something. They must be. Do you know? Do you ever call in to visit your friend in an office unexpectedly? Everyone just shits themselves. They're like, what's he doing here? Cover the screen, lie across the spreadsheet, get him out. Kind regards, warm regards, best. That's how they talk. Seen the email. Hey. I know what it's like in the real world. Look, sometimes I check in your world. Oh, gross, back to showbiz. And... No, I'm very self-aware of the level of fame that I have. I was in a supermarket recently, and an older lady came up to me, and she put her hands on my shoulders, and she said, you are vaguely familiar. And that is it. I did a gig in Wrexham, and I was at an ATM machine, and a guy cycled by, and he shouted at me, surprised to see you at an ATM machine. And I've been obsessed with it since then. What did he mean? Like, on the one hand, is he surprised I don't have a butler to go to the ATM machine for? No, I think it's the opposite. I think I'm surprised you have any money whatsoever doing keyboard horse shit. Here's my greatest ever showbiz tale. I did a gig in your Milton Keynes recently, thank you, and I was staying in the Milton Keynes Hilton, and she is the least well-known of all the Hilton sisters. And I checked in after the gig at like 12:30. Room 303 is where this took place. Open the door, TV on in the room. Not that uncommon in the chain hotels. I guess it's to welcome you. But get this, on the TV is me playing the shitty keyboard on some show. Immediate thought is like, is this a service they provide to all guests? If so, no, it's the realization, this is it. I've arrived. And I waltz into the room, down the little corridor with the loo away to the left. And as the room opens out, there is a fully naked man lying on the bed. So they've given me the key to someone else's room. But he is lying there, watching me on the TV. And he looks up. To think of something smart. What I say is like, oh shit, sorry about it. I could have said anything and I'd be a legend. I could have been like, oh, you enjoying this? Ah, no boner. And just walked out of it.
I've made a list of pros and cons, because I've been spending a lot of time in brothels and prisons. Made a list of pros and cons, always good, give you a bit of balance, Con, complete loss of all feelings of hope and possibility. It doesn't sound very good, does it? It doesn't sound much fun, does it? Pro, increased plug socket access. Bang, 1-1. I say increased, it's actually total plug socket access. I've got 32 plug sockets in my house. Each and every one of them is now under my sole domain. Con, all experiences that formed the basis of my happiness and sense of self-worth are now destroyed by grief. Downer. A bit of a downer, isn't it? Pro, less recycling. I can fit it all in the green box now. It's remarkable when you take into account just how much I'm drinking. John, you're meant to heat mulled wine. All right, Your Highness, hand me the bottle and leave. Con, I'm gonna lose me house. Bit of fun. Pro, 25% off council tax. I was on that like a ferret. Dialing as the door slammed. And that's us fresh out of cons. The rest are just pros, guys. Yeah. Increased freezer space, all 4 drawers. Cheaper gas and electric. Reduced wear and tear on fixtures and fittings. And when I say reduced, I don't mean by half, because I was only ever responsible for about 10% of scuffs and spills. So we're looking at a net reduction of 90% in real terms. This is my favourite one. Ultimate control over where the iPhone charger cable is and why it is there. There was a time it would take hours to answer the questions, where is the iPhone charger cable and why is it there? Not anymore. Plugged in next to the bed, most convenient place to have it. Simple. Is it unplugged in the bathroom? No, it's not. Be a ludicrous place to keep it. There's no plug socket in the bathroom. Is it in the front pocket of a rucksack you no longer use? That'll be the last place you look. That'll be very frustrating. Is it plugged in on a train we have alighted from? No. It's plugged in next to the bed because that's the most convenient place to have it.
Let's lighten the mood a little bit. Let's talk about terrorism. Terrorism... Listen, one of my main issues with terrorism is simple, all right? It's got people that have known me my entire life doubting my credibility, all right? It's mad thing. And I want to let you know, all right? You guys are a little bit worried at the moment. I'll make it explicit for you. I am not a member of ISIS, all right? I'm not, okay? I have nothing to do with those people. I don't follow their ideology. That's because I've got 6 months left on my Al-Qaeda membership. I'm a lot... Where did they go? My gosh. I'm going to get some water, all right? Flipping it. It was a bad choice wearing this heavy-ass jacket, you know what I mean? And you know what, actually? Ooh, it's squirting all over the place. I tell you what is the biggest threat to Muslims on the face of the planet today, all right? Dehydration. We cannot carry around clear liquids in a bottle anywhere, all right? Exactly. Dying up here on this stage, dying in airplanes, stressing me out. But the thing about, listen, hey, can I pop this here? Bruv, can you have that? Thank you, my G. One of the worst things about terrorism is how it's got people doubting my credibility. People I've known my whole life, all right? I want to give you an example. I've got a neighbour, okay? She's called Maud. She's known me for 27 years. And because of the media narrative, the way that the media portrays Muslims, minorities, Black Lives Matter, the world is very divisive. Who in this room just wants to live and get along? Make some noise. Exactly, we all want to, all right? But the media has got people doubting me, all right? So I've had my neighbour 27 years. We've got it's a nice, simple thing. It's a neighbourly thing to do, all right? A regular Friday wheelie bin ritual. We grab the wheelie bin, drag it down to the end of the driveway, have a quick natter, go back in. It's what neighbours do, innit? It's what neighbours do, all right? This particular Friday, Maud is like clockwork, but she was late. And I'm thinking, rah, is Maud okay? I hope she's all right. Usually she's like, the bin was stinking of shit, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to stay here. I'm going to be a good neighbour and have this conversation. Boom. 3 minutes later, boom! She kicks open the door. She's stressed. She's flustered. I said, Maud, is everything okay? She says, now, good. Everything is far from all right. Have you seen the news? I'm like, listen, Maud, a lot of my cousins are on there. I don't watch that shit. You know that. Bring back a lot of bad memories for me, Maud. She says, Guz, it's the ISIS. I-Z-I. She's from Birmingham, that's how she spells it. It's the ISIS. They've been doing terrible bloody terrorisms again, them lot. I was like, yo, Maud, listen, that's bad. I don't agree with those people, and, you know, I hope they're brought to justice. She says, you say that, Guzzy, yeah? But you got to tell me something, babes. You're nothing like them, are you? I said, what? More. You know me, 27 years, baby. I'm nothing like them. Stop buying into the media narrative. Stop buying into the news. I'm me, Guz, your neighbour. She says, I know you say that. It's just that from very specific angles. This is a very Bin Laden look you've got going on there. I said, hey, I don't even look like that guy. Very racist. She says, Guz, I know, I'm just being silly. But you just do me one more favour though, babes, okay? It's just more for my rod, really, yeah? If you hear anything about it before the news does, just let me know.
Oh, we have a great show for you tonight. We have a fantastic show. Very funny comedians. I know funny. I do very funny. People always ask me who I think is funny. That's the number 2 question I get asked as a comedian. The number 1 question I get asked as a comedian is, have you ever died? As soon as you tell someone you're a comedian, first thing they want to know, oh, you ever died? Oh, what's it like when no one laughs? Oh, tell us about the worst gig you've ever had in your life. Please, relive for me, in minute detail, the worst moment of your professional career. Have you ever really died? It's like saying to a doctor, tell us about the last patient you lost. What happened? With the family crying. I bet they were they? Yeah. People are such ghouls. It's the number 1 question. Have you ever died? Number 2 question, though, is what makes you laugh? People always want to know that from me. Who do you think is funny? And that's a nicer question. That's more understandable. You know, I make people laugh. People want to know what makes me laugh. In the same ways you might say to your hairdresser, who cuts your hair? Or you might say to someone in an Audi, who do you think drives like a cock? Same kind of thing. I like that joke. It's a short joke, it's a sharp joke, and also with that joke, I get to spot every Audi driver in the room. I can just see a pinched expression on your face there. All right, no need to be like that about it. I've done well for myself. It's a very reliable machine. And the fact that I can tell you're an Audi driver by the expression on your face means technically you've just given a form of indication. So well done. Good for you. Who knew you could do it? Yeah. Have you ever died? Who do you think is funny? You always get asked the same questions. That's why I don't like doing interviews. I love doing this job. This is great. I love standing here talking to you, though. But doing interviews, it's a necessary evil. It's part of the job. Having to answer questions. And I don't even like watching interviews. You'd rather watch a comedian tell jokes than talk about how they wrote them. You'd rather watch a singer sing songs than talk about their inspiration. You'd rather watch a sports person do their sport. You'd certainly rather watch a sports person do their sport. Come on now. Sports interviews can be turgid affairs at best. And then I hit it with my foot. You mean you kicked it? If you like. They're rarely interesting. They're rarely, and I'm not slagging sports people. It takes a great deal of single-mindedness to excel at a sport to a point where people want to interview you about it. But sports people are famous because they're good at sport, not because they're good at talking about sport. That's why you find a sports person who is good at talking about sport, the BBC will cream their knickers over them. We found a woman. She used to ride horses. That's a sport. And she's quite lively and engaging and charismatic. Put her on absolutely everything! Do not let her out of your sight. Even people I'm a fan of. Andy Murray. I love Andy Murray. Britain should be very proud of Andy Murray. He's done a lot to be proud of. He's won Wimbledon. He's an Olympic gold medalist. And he put up with a lot of shit when he was, 8th best in the world? Oh, you bloody loser, you. He's done a lot to be proud of. He's won Wimbledon, he's Olympic gold medalist, he's magnanimous in victory, he's humble in defeat. And he's a big comedy fan. He's been to see me live, I've met him, lovely bloke. But Jesus Christ. I cannot listen to him drone on one more time about how he won, stroke lost another tennis match. I can't do it. Well, then I hit it to him, and he hit it back to me, and I'm very good at tennis, but he is also very good at tennis. Some days I'm better at tennis than he is, but I think what's happened today was he was slightly better at tennis than I am, and that's maybe why he won the game of the tennis. Oh, for God's sake, man! I'm not very sporty, you can probably tell. I like hill walking. Doesn't really count as a sport. I like hill walking and camping. Proper camping, though. None of your glamping bullshit. Glamping. Derivation of the words glamorous and camping. Where you stay in a yurt, which is more expensive than a hotel. What is wrong with you? A lot of people don't realise yurt is a derivation of the words yura and twat. A lot of people don't realise that.
Going away with my wife, she does this thing, right? If you get her in an airport, I'm not allowed to have my own passport. It's embarrassing. It's It's embarrassing. I'm a 40-year-old man. I get to passport control. They say, you got your passport, mate? I'm like, no. I'm not allowed to carry it. Apparently, I'm not mature enough. I don't know what happens, man. The moment you get in near an airport, she becomes like some sort of Russian people trafficker. Do you know what I mean? She's like, I must have all the passports. You cannot handle passport. You are too stupid for passport. I must keep all passports in zippy clear travel document folder, huh? Alongside printout from TripAdvisor. But you may carry the bags. I'm like a peasant boy for the day. Oh, thank you, master. Thank you very much. Yes, it's a real honor for me to carry your bags, you know. 11 pair of shoes for 3-day mini break is a good idea, huh? Yes. Maybe you will become a centipede while we are in Egypt. Who knows? I went to a stag do recently. I went to the Munich Beer Festival. Has anybody here been to the Munich Beer Fest? Seemingly everybody. How many days did you go for, mate? No days. Got deported on arrival. We went for 7 days. We got there on a Monday, right? We had 6 straight days drinking, Monday through Saturday. And on the Sunday, we said, we've got to do something different, right? So we went to Dachau concentration camp. Yeah. It was a weird shout. There's no getting away from it. Could have gone go-karting. I said, no, let's do some World War II here. Took a long time to get there, and when we got there, it was shut. Now, yeah, it felt inconvenient. However, given the wider backdrop of historical suffering, I didn't necessarily think that my inconvenience was that big a deal, right? So I just thought I'll take it on the chin. But we had a mate of us called Tim, and Tim started popping off at the German security guard. He said, mate, it's a Sunday, yeah? It's a big tourist day. It's outrageous that it's shut. I said, to be fair, it's outrageous that it was ever open, you know what I mean? It's like, it is weird that you're making this about you, Tim, to be honest. People say dumb things, though, don't they? I was having a beer with my mate Wayne the other day, and Wayne likes to tell you where he was on the occasion of big historical news events that happened within our lifetime, right? So I mentioned 9/11, and Wayne went, 9/11, remember where I was that day? I was like, don't care where you were. I don't see how it's relevant. I don't see how your whereabouts on that fateful, terrible day will form some sort of meaningful historical footnote, Wayne. I'm being honest here. He looked hurt. He went, I went, all right, where were you? He went, karate. I went, see, that's exactly the sort of trivial shit I was worried about, Wayne. He said, well, you know, I was in New York 6 months before that. Makes you think, doesn't it? I was like, no. No. To be honest, all it makes me think is I wish you'd been there 6 months later. Sorry.
I'd just like to tell you a true story, right? This is what it's like living in London nowadays. In fact, it's the same everywhere, really. What I hate is the hard sell. You know, you get the hard sell, right? I got it the other day. You know when people ring you up and say, you know, do you want to combine the gas with the electric, right? I know, I was thinking, oh, that sounds dangerous, right? I hate the hard sell. It's horrible, isn't it? This is a true story. The other day, I was lying in bed with a hangover. Yeah, it's awful, isn't it, when your cock's so big it won't stay in the bed. I'm glad I did say, stinking hangover. And I get this phone call, right? And I knew this bloke was trying to sell me something with his opening line, right? Because he said, hello, sir. How are you today? I said, no, thank you. And he genuinely got the hump and said, no, thank you, what? I said, sorry, no, thank you, please. He said, I'm phoning from EDF. I said, I'm not interested. He said, I haven't told you what it is yet. I said, I know exactly why you're ringing. You're ringing to offer me a free season ticket to Wembley plus unlimited access to Dirty Brenda's all-night knocking shop with as many chocolate hobnobs as I can eat. And he said, no, I'm not. I'm ringing to talk about your domestic fuel bills. I said, well, why didn't you say that in the first place? Keep talking, son! He said, well, sir, because he didn't get the sarcasm. He said, how would you feel about paying less for your gas? I said, honestly? He said, yes. I said, I reckon I'd feel exactly the same, but I'd be paying less for me gas. He said, can I ask you, who's your current supplier? I said, oh, it's Big Pete. He comes round every Thursday on a moped. I said, oh, sorry, gas. I thought you meant electricity. I said, it's British Gas. He said, can I ask what you chose then, sir? I said, well, it's a funny story. I needed some gas, and I live in Britain, and I don't know what it was, but they seem to be ticking all the right boxes. And at this point, he genuinely got the hump and said, do you know what? I think I'll ring someone else who'll answer my questions less sarcastically. I said, yeah, you can phone someone else. They'll be less sarcastic. They'll probably stay on the phone longer, but they'll still end up saying no to you anyway. I said, now, I don't know who's providing your current rejection, but if you were to switch to me, I would combine the rejection with the sarcasm and save you up to 15% a year on your cold calling time. And do you know what he did then? Do you know what he did? He tried to offer me nectar points. Let me tell you something about nectar points, ladies and gentlemen. I spent the last 2 years collecting nectar points. Do you know how many I've got? Enough for a tiny little jar of honey. I'd have been better off collecting bloody nectar. And I'm glad you laughed at that joke, because when I did it a month ago in Ireland, it got nothing. Honest to God, I did a gig 2 nights in Ireland. First night, I did that joke about the nectar of the nectar points, got nothing. I walked off stage, and the bloke that travels around me went, I said, why did that joke not get a laugh? The nectar of the nectar points. He went, oh, I know why. They don't have nectar points in Ireland. What are you telling me now for after the gig? He said, don't worry, tomorrow night, say Tesco's points. Do you know what? I don't know what's worse. The fact that he suggested that, or the fact that half of you are now looking at me going, well, Lee, what happened? Did it work? What's that? Don't leave us hanging, Lee. Did it work? What about little points? Extra points?
I don't have a kid. I have a wife. That's a start, I suppose. I'm a very happily married man. I'm a man in love, actually. How many men here in love? A few of you. By the way, those of you who are here, any men who are here with women and you didn't react when I asked if you were in love, you have a very frosty journey home ahead of you. That's all I can tell you. That was a good show tonight, wasn't it? Did you not enjoy it? Well, I enjoyed it, but I was listening. You didn't seem to be listening. I was laughing. Well, the Irish guy asked you a direct question. Love is a funny thing. Being in love and falling in love are obviously 2 quite different things, aren't they? They both have their own merits. They both have their pros and their cons. Falling in love, for instance, is very exciting. I'll give you that. You never know what's going to happen next. Every time you see her, your heart beats faster. You touch her, you tingle, you can't get her out of your head. Falling in love, very exciting. And being in love is fine. So they both have their own merits, is what I'm trying to say there. You try and do things to keep the romance going, and if you're a bloke, that's your job. And if you're a woman, your job is to tell us if we're doing our job correctly. We try and do things to keep the romance going, but every now and again, ladies, you might do things that'll suck the romance back out again. Like ask us questions. Stop doing that. I don't mean questions like, where you been till now, who are you texting, what are you doing on the net at this hour? They're fair enough. I mean questions like, what are you thinking? Piss off with that question. What are you thinking? What is your obsession with what we're thinking? Can that be the one thing that remains exclusively mine? We share everything. The house, the bills, the friends. Can the content... No, I want that too. Come on. Why can't you women show us men the same courtesy and consideration we show you and not give a shit about what we're thinking? Why can't you do that? Because do you want to know the honest answer to that question? As soon as you say to your man, what are you thinking? Do you want to know what he's thinking? He's thinking, shit, better think of something to say, I've been thinking. That's what he's now thinking. Whatever he had been thinking before you asked that question, no matter how reasonable or innocent the thought was, it has gone now. Scuttled off into the corner of his brain in a panic. to make way for all the little men that are now running around his head going, what are we thinking? She's asking! Quick, give me something to make it good. Somebody, you, what do you have? What do you have? She won't believe that in a million years. Come on, lads! You. That's not even a real place, for Christ's sake! What do you have? That's your sister. What are you trying to do to us? And the reason we panic is because, you know, the truth won't do. The truth, 95% of the time, is the word nothing. That won't do at all, will it? What are you thinking about? Nothing. You can't be thinking nothing. You have to be thinking something. Everyone has to be thinking something. Ladies, you should never underestimate a man's ability to be completely and utterly vacant. Seriously.
I wouldn't go down on a man with a vagina. Or, absolutely not. All on a man. No. Because a man's vagina would be disgusting. Like, I think it's a good thing that most women are born with them because you look after stuff. Like, men, no, thank you. No. People get so angry, though, man. Like, I always used to say the LGBT community, and then someone threw a bottle at me for not saying LGBTQIA+. And it's like, mate, I'm on your team. I just didn't know. Like, I didn't miss you out deliberately. Give people some credit. You've named your community after a bloody Welsh village. I'm not going to get everything right first time. Like, also, does anyone know what the A stands for in LGBTQIA? The A? Anyone? Asexual. Yeah. Now, that baffles me somewhat. Like, I don't understand why those people would want to be part of the same group, because that means at Gay Pride, you've got people who are like, I'm not ashamed, I'm proud, I'm a man and I love men, you know. I'm a woman, I have sex with women. And then you've got these people at the back who are like, I want no part of this filth. Like, holding up a blank placard, like, nothing! We want nothing! And you're like, over there, that's a different march, isn't it? Surely. The problem with some sexist stereotypes, though, is that they're there for a reason, aren't they? Some questions can only be answered with a stereotype. For example, there's a stereotype that women can multitask and that men are just like, ha, the whole time. I think it's offensive to men more than anything. But some questions can only be answered with a stereotype. For example, why is it that you never hear about a woman who died wanking? It's exclusively a male method of death, isn't it? The rope around the neck and... Now, this makes no sense because women masturbate, we know this. Women have masturbated since the 1980s, of course. I believe it was the sinking of the Belgrano that finally got them going. Now, statistically, there must exist women that like to strangle themselves to increase the size of their orgasm, but you never hear about them because they don't die doing it. Women seem to be able to strangle themselves and masturbate at the same time. You know why? Because they can multitask, you see. And then it's like, ha! You're going to die! Fuck it! Ha! And they die. So, some questions can only be answered with a stereotype. That's my point. But these stereotypes were obviously used in the past to kind of make life harder for women. But now, some people think maybe life is harder for men because of the whole Me Too movement. I don't know about that. But what I do know is that no man could deal with the Me Too hashtag. Like, no, not even the really woke, liberal good guys. Like, I've got a friend who's a real good guy, you know, like one of them. And he's always vlogging about why we can't eat prawns or some nonsense. And... he's like, oh, this harassment stuff's terrible, isn't it? Oh, this harassment stuff, makes you want to castrate yourself. What? That's what he said. Every man should just castrate himself. It's like, come on, mate, that's such a male response, isn't it? Because women still want to have sex, they just don't want to be harassed, right? So if women are like, hey, could you stop harassing us? And men go, oh, right, I see, well, I guess I don't need this anymore. Chop. Surely women are like, no, I still want to have sex just more on my terms. But then we're like, no, those are your options. Either we can harass you or it's nothing. The species ends. Pick a team, Karen. Huh?
I was going to be a doctor. Got as far as A-level biology, and we had to cut open a rat. Remember that? You had to cut open a rat, and I discovered I couldn't stand the sight of blood or anything vaguely biological. Just had to switch it up. I was like, Mum, I had to tell my mum the doctor thing wasn't going to work out, but it was all right. I said, I'm going to be an engineer. And my mum was like, engineer? It is on the list? Okay. And then she turns to my younger brother, you will be the doctor. And that's how it ran in my family. She wasn't impressed when I decided to become a comedian. That conversation didn't go very well because I was an engineer. I worked as an engineer for years. I used to work for Otis, repairing lifts. That's what I did. And my mum was proud. Yes, my daughter, she's an engineer. And then I left that and decided to become a comedian. My mum was not impressed. She's like, comedy. Comedy? What the hell is comedy? I'm going to tell my friends in Nigeria. My daughter is a clown. But luckily for me, within 6 months of starting comedy, I got on this talent show called The Big, Big Talent Show, hosted by Jonathan Ross. Got on this show. So I called my mum. I was like, Mama, I got through to this big talent show. It's going to be on TV. I'm through to the quarterfinals. And my mum's like, oh, yeah, that's good. Very good. Interesting. Very good. Call me when you get to the final. I'm not interested in this quarterfinal, semi-final race. Call me for the final. So sure enough, I got through to the final, filmed live on television, live. Jonathan Ross is hosting, and my mum comes down with her entourage, because my mum does not travel without a Nigerian entourage. So I do my set. Jonathan Ross is interviewing me after my set, and he sees my mum in the audience, which was not hard to spot. It was literally white people, white people, white people, and then a bank of African royalty just... So Jonathan points to my mum and he goes, is that your mum? That Gina's mum is in the audience. And I swear to God, my mum stood up like this. Yes, that is right. I am the reason the clown is here. I am the reason. I always knew she was going to be a clown. When she was 3, I bought her the big shoes. So my mum only comes out for the big shows. She only comes out for the big shows. And in fact, my mum is here tonight. Where's my mum? Where's my mum? Where's my mum over there? She's here. Where's your mum? Oh, look at her, standing up. Look at her, there she is. All right, you can sit down now, Mum. You can sit down now, Mum. This is my show, Mum. It's my show. It's my show.
I get shocked about what I get annoyed by. I get really annoyed by pizza leaflets. Everyone here in London, you know, you get pizza leaflets through your door. I get 8 a day, sometimes more. You know, I shouldn't bother them. I should pick them up, put them in the bin. But everyone that comes through, I go, it's like someone standing next to you all day long going, do you want a pizza? Fancy a pizza? Want a pizza? Want a pizza? Fancy a pizza? No, I don't want a bloody pizza. I wouldn't mind if the photographs made them look tasty. But, you know, it looks like someone's cooked a kid's painting, doesn't it? Another thing that annoys me, tea bags. Oh, God. Because they're not bags, are they? You can't put anything in them, you can't take anything out. That's the minimum you expect from a bag, isn't it? If someone said to you, can you hold my bag? And you couldn't put anything in it, you couldn't take anything out. It hasn't got handles, don't have handles, do they? You know? You go, it's not a bag, it's a cushion. Should be called tea, sealed yet perforated paper cage. Suppose they can't fit that on the box, can they? I'd meet them halfway. Herbal prison of permeable mesh. I'm a reasonable guy. Another thing drives me mental. You know, the self-checkouts at supermarkets. Oh, God. I come away from there. I don't not feel like a man. I don't even feel like a mammal. I feel like an amoeba when I come out of that place. Because nothing swipes, does it? I'm swiping, nothing swipes. OK, I won't have carrots this week. Then I can live without butter. The other day I was begging it to let me have a chicken. You know? No, just have a chicken. Just a chicken. I was rubbing it, banging it, swiping it. I'm going to leave the money here and I'm going, OK? You do your worst. Oh, I hate coming out of that place. Yeah? I walk up there with 2 bags of shopping. I come away with a can of Coke and an apple. And for some weird reason, the apple swiped. It hasn't got a sticker on it. It worries me. I get annoyed by the most... Do you know what really annoys me? Wrong numbers. People dial me up with the wrong number. But I don't get angry. What I do, and you should do this, it's great fun, I don't let on it's a wrong number. It's great fun. So someone rings up, you know, hello. They say, is Mandy there? You know, Mandy? Oh, yeah, just hold on a sec, just hold on a sec. Mandy! Mandy! Get your ass up here now! She's just coming, OK? Give me a sec. I don't know who it is. Some wanker! What have I told you? Don't wear your shoes in the house. Oh, put the special slippers on. She's just changing her shoes.
So I'm Jack. I live in London quite locally. I'm quite posh, as probably most of you have already gauged. Don't need shit for it though. You get quite a lot of stick for being posh, but you know, it's like I always say, sticks and stones may break my bones. But whatever, I'm with Booper. I am posh. I'm not like right wing though. Not prejudice. Not homophobic. Well, I guess I'm homophobic in the same sense that I'm arachnophobic. I'm not scared of spiders. I'm not scared of gays. Though I would probably scream if I saw one in my bath. I'm young. I'm not like one of the, your regular youth, I guess. Because people are afraid of young people now, aren't they? And I'm afraid of young people as well. But I forget what I'm meant to be afraid of. Because it seems to change with young people. If you read the tabloids, like 1 minute you get it's the young people because it's like knife crime and gun crime, hoodies, ASBOs, they're going to stab you, all of that stuff. Next minute, they're all fat and they're overweight and it's the obesity epidemic. And I'm confused. I don't know what I'm meant to be scared of anymore. I'm worried to walk down the street lest I'm attacked by a fat kid with a knife and a fork. I want to stay fit. I want to be good at things like fitness and health. I want to be healthy. But I've never been good at it, you know? Even when I was at school, I hated PE. I hated PE so much at school. Mainly because of my PE teacher. He was a complete arsehole. His name was Mr. Walton. He was from South Africa. And he was a lumbering hulk of protein shake and unresolved childhood issues, which he took out on me every week. He was horrible to me. He humiliated me every lesson, right? And I remember one class, right, okay? He tried to get us to do a bleep test, which I refused to do because we weren't living in Nazi Germany. Ironically, an environment in which he would have thrived. And he was shouting at me, pushing me, trying to embarrass me and humiliate me. I'm quite a sensitive soul. I couldn't hack it. Eventually, I flipped. He was like, go on, Jack, push yourself now, embrace the burn. Look at my body, Jack. How do you think I got to where I am today? I don't know, oppressing black people. Because he thought he was a motivator. He thought the stuff that he was saying was inspirational to the children. It wasn't. It was psychotic. And it never made any sense as well. I remember once, right, we were playing basketball and just in the middle of the game, he blew his whistle and in front of everyone just shouted at me, the problem with you, Jack, is you're all fart and no poo. Well, when I fart, I follow through and sometimes there's blood. But I tried at school, I just could never do very well. But I always think, right, if you weren't very good at school, there's always one thing that everyone that wasn't good at school could hold on to. And we need to hold on to this. And that is that at every school, all over the world, in every class, there was always that person that was better than everyone else, yeah? That got into all the sports teams, that was in the school play, that had a girlfriend. Mr. Perfect. You can hold on to the fact that, yeah, they were Mr. Perfect at school and everyone resented them and they were so great. But in later life, Mr. Perfect will have made his mistakes. He will have screwed things up. And now, with Facebook, you can find the bastard. You can hunt him down and look at his photographs and realise, yeah, you were Mr. Perfect at school, but now someone's put on a little bit of weight, now someone's lost their job, and they're sleeping in the back of their car, so screw you, Robbie Westlake.
My girlfriend said to me, "Have you been having sex behind my back?" I said, "Who the fucking hell do you think it was?" And another thing, it wouldn't kill you to look round once in a while, check how I'm doing. Well, I'm Jimmy Carr, and we've got Alan Carr on the show later on. How about that? I keep on getting mistaken for Alan Carr, so what I've done is I've stopped sucking men off. Don't get the wrong idea. You know, I'm a very gay-friendly act. I was asked last year to judge Mr. Gay UK. I said, no problem at all. He's against nature and against God, and he's going to hell. Right, who have we got in the audience this evening? We've got Nikki Hamilton-Jones is in. Hello. I've seen your show. Yours is the one where you get ladies naked and then they cry. We've all been there. For me, that's a very successful Friday night out. Have we got James Morrison? Is James Morrison in the house? Where's he? Can't believe it. Hello, James. How are you? An amazing musician, especially if you find James Blunt a bit rocky. You Give Me Something's an amazing song. You Give Me Something is my favourite song ever about chlamydia. My favourite, I love it. Dean Macy's here. Where's Dean Macy? Dean Macy? You're our hope for Beijing, aren't you, in the decathlon? I love the decathlon. You know, it's where you do 10 different things, isn't it? Sort of jack of all trades, master of none. If you don't mind me saying. The 2012 Olympics is going to cost £8 billion, which is, you know, a lot of money. It's probably going to bankrupt London, but you can't put a price on 2 bronze medals in cycling. Incidentally, ladies and gentlemen, the highest speed ever achieved on a bicycle was done by a British man, 166 miles per hour on a bike. It was recorded at a level crossing. £8 billion is a lot of money. I mean, for that kind of money, we could have another 3 weeks in Iraq. I don't have a stalker, but I do have a woman that sends me pants in the post. Thanks, Mum. People ask me how I relax, so I tell them. I put Smarties tubes onto cats' legs to make them walk like a robot. If I'm really stressed, I make them go down the stairs. It's adorable, they look so confused. I realise some of you will be worried about the cat. Don't worry about the cat. If it's hurt, if it breaks its leg, it's already got a splint on. I should warn you, don't kick off this evening. I'm middle class, but I'm hard. Al dente, you might say. If you got the al dente reference, you're middle class too. Well done. I've got quite a posh voice, though. Would you agree with that, Hammersmith? It's quite a posh voice, but we've all got a phone voice. Mine's quite breathy. I quite like those phone sex lines. I like them because they're the only place in the world where premature ejaculation is an advantage. I once came in under 75 pence.
it's a Tuesday night. We've all got to stay over. Should we go for a drink? I said, James, I'd love to go for a drink with you. It'd be great. He said, good. I said, I normally play darts, but I'm up for going out. He said, brilliant. He said, because tonight, it's the Brits. Now, I'm in my 40s. I've been married 17 years. I wasn't really sure what the Brits was, to be honest. But in front of me new showbiz mates, I didn't want to look like a knobhead. So I went, all right, yeah, let's go and do some Brits. Yeah, I'm always up for some Brits. We're always Britain it by us. Let's go and Brits it. Yeah, I'm up for the Brits. Let's go and Brits it. He said, fantastic. He said, I'll phone Robbie up. We'll go to his party. I said, great. If we're going to go to a party, let's stop at the off-licence on the way and get the ale in. He said, no, it's not that kind of party. It'll be in a nightclub. He said, do you know Robbie? And I went, I mean, I know some Robbies. He said, Robbie Williams. I went, oh, Bob! 10 minutes later, I'm sat in a car with James Corden and Freddie Flintoff going to the Robbie Williams Brits after-show party. It's one of those moments where you want to phone your mate and go, guess where I am? Well, you can't. I'm just trying to act all cool. I'm also in a car going to a nightclub. It's a long time since I've been to a nightclub. In my head, I'm worried about whether they're going to let me in jeans. The last nightclub I went to, I wore a thin leather tie. It's been a while. We come along in this car, we turn up at this nightclub in London. There's a cavalcade of cars. The bouncers come out and open the door. Bouncers aren't what bouncers used to be. Bouncers used to be different. When I was going to nightclubs, they used to wear dicky bows and look dead smart. They don't do that now. They have little bomber jackets with certificates on the sleeve, don't you? To show you they've got an MVQ in kicking your head in. We go to walk into this nightclub. There's a bank of photographers there. They all start shouting, James, Freddie. Start taking photographs. No one knows who the friggin' hell I am. But they're shouting, James, Freddie. So they stop. So I stopped. Goes into the nightclub. It was a bit loud, to be honest with you. It was a bit loud, and there was a lot of songs without words, a lot of boom, 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 and I had a really good book that I was halfway through, so I didn't want to stay out late anyway. And also, Robbie wasn't there, which disappointed me immensely. I spent all night hoping to bump into Robbie Williams. I spent all night walking around with a bottle of beer in my hand in case I bumped into Robbie Williams, so I could say, oh, do us a favour, Robbie, take that. I know. Shit joke, but who else you going to do it with? So I spent all night doing that. Goes home, woke up the following morning, one of my mates phoned me up. He said, where were you last night? I said, look, I'm sorry I missed the dart. He said, where were you? I said, I was just working. He said, I know where you were. I said, what do you mean? He said, you were out in London, weren't you? I said, what do you mean? He said, get up, have a look on the Sky News website, have a look in the showbiz section, look at the Brits after-show party. I said, look, mate, I said, I don't want you to think I've become a champagne Charlie. I was just out with some lads from work. We were going to this thing. We had to stay over. He said, just get up and have a look, knobhead. I got out of bed. I looked on the Sky News website. I looked in the showbiz section. I looked at the Brits after-show party. There was 42 photographs. Photograph number 39 was a picture of me, James Corden, and Freddie Flintoff walking into the Robbie Williams party. The caption next to it said, an unlikely trio. It said James Corden and Freddie Flintoff arrived at the Robbie Williams after-show party with Bez from the Happy Mondays.
It's nice seeing people out, man. We've had a weird few years, innit? There's been a lot going on, the pandemic. You know, monkeypox, World War III, right? No, World War III scared me, you know. I was terrified when that Russian bloke came on TV, right? When he came on TV and he was like, World War III has begun, right? I lost it, right? I was so scared, right? Because I looked around at the men of my generation, right? And I was like, could we fight a war? Could the men of this generation fight a war, right? And I came to the conclusion, no, we are done for. We're finished, bruv, right? Not me, I'm a bad man, but some of you, like, do you know what I mean, right? No, we can't fight a war, brother. You mad? They will take half of us out with gluten. Like, do you know what I mean? Be real, man. They don't even need to drop bombs. They'll just drop blue top milk over the front lines, right? Just see all of us just shitting everywhere, like, crying like, where's that gender neutral toilet? Shut up, it's a war, bro! It's good to see you lot out, man. That whole thing was scary, man. Do you know the scariest part of that thing? The Mayor of London came on TV, right? And he was like, London is well placed in case of a nuclear attack. I was like, are you out of your goddamn mind? There's leaves on the track and we're done for. Forget a nuclear winter, we can't survive autumn, bruv, right? It's nice seeing you guys out, man. We've had a weird few years, man. Monkeypox is on the horizon, right? There's going to be no anti-vaxxers when it comes to that one, is there? Right? As soon as you see a massive pimple that big on your face, you're like, yeah, inject it, bruv. Do what you want, right? The thing with COVID, we had everything in it, right? Like, people were talking about the vaccine. Like, there was people on both sides that I didn't understand. Like, I don't care if you're vaccinated, just have a good reason, because I didn't get both sides of it. You know, you had pro-vaxxers and you had anti-vaxxers. Are there any anti-vaxxers in? They're louder on Facebook, innit? Like... No, you look... Those anti-vaxxers are loud on Facebook, innit? Like, Bill Gates, he's taking your soul. You lot are sheeple. All right, shut up, man. Right? I don't get the pro-vaxxers either. You know, like the way they're like, there's absolutely no reason not to get vaccinated. There's absolutely no reason. It's like, of course there is. There's reasons for some of the most horrendous things in the world, like listening to R. Kelly's music. Do you know what I mean? Like, there are reasons. What? You're going to tell me there's no reason to listen to R. Kelly's music? Are you mad? Right? What? You want me to never watch Space Jam again? Are you out of your mind, bruv? Right? Listen, there's reasons to listen to R. Kelly's music. As much as you want to deny it, there's reasons, right? Say you're in a Squid Games type scenario, right? And the challenge is to play a song that a diverse audience is going to sing along to, yeah? I don't know about you lot, yeah, but I'm picking Ignition, innit? Right? Don't go home and say, I told you to listen to R. Kelly, by the way. He's a piece of shit. Don't listen to him, right? Nice. I don't care whether you're vaccinated or not, if I'm being honest, right? As long as you have a good reason, right? As long as you've got a good reason, I don't mind what you want to do with your life, man. It's your life, do what you want, right? And I'll tell you what I mean, because I've got a lot of friends, man, like, that are, like, anti-vaxxers and stuff as well. Like, I was talking to a couple of my mates about it, right, when it was all going on, and I was like, bro, you're going to get vaccinated? He was like, no. I was like, why not? He's like, no. Come on, bro, man, that's not a reason, man. Just talk to me, man. Let me know. He's like, no, you're going to turn it into a joke. And to be honest with you... wonderful foresight on his behalf, right? Like...
I'll say a bit more about myself. I'm from the north of England. I had a very strange upbringing. My dad, he was very old-fashioned. When my sister had her menstrual cycle, he made her go and live in the shed, claiming that she was the evil seed of Satan. It's a little bit old-fashioned, isn't it? It was very sad. My sister died very young. She drowned. But, you know, like my dad said, look on the bright side. If she'd have floated, it would have had to set fire to her anyway, so... She was, My nan was great, though. She was great, my nan. I remember the last thing she said to me just before she died. She said, what are you doing in here with that hammer? Do you ever do that thing when you're a kid where you try and slip in swear words in front of your nan to try and impress your mate? How many swear words can we fit in without nan not noticing? I'll go first. Anyone for coffee, nan? Anyone for coffee? Is it half a cup? Fuck up! Fuck up, is it? What time is it? 10 past 2. 10 past 2? Do you expect me to believe that? It's jolly well possible. Anyone for coffee? The last time we tried it, we were in a Chinese restaurant. We went, oh, Nan, there's no fork and knife. What are we going to do? There's no fork and knife, Nan. There's no fork and knife. What are we going to do, Nan? She went, I don't know. I'll probably try and have to use the fork and chopsticks, you patronising pair of little... It was her attitude. If you can't beat them, what's the point in having kids? I'm obsessed with swearing though, because this is great, because this show's going out after 9:30. Well, it is now, but this show's going out after 9:30, right? How did I know it was CBeebies? No, it's going on after 9:30, and I love the fact that I don't know why, but you can't swear on telly before 9:30, but you can after 9:30. I think the BBC, as a nation, just think we're all just sat round going, "Oh, Marjorie, would you possibly pass me the bread sauce? This fish is simply divine." "Why, certainly, Kenneth. It really is a tasty salmon." "Tell me, my darling, are you aware of the time?" "Why, allow me to check on my small pocket antique silver wristwatch, left for me by Grandpapa all of these years ago in his will." "Why, I believe it has just gone the hour of 9:30. Thank fuck for that! Let's get and shit on the Christmas tree, you dirty bitch!" Like I say, I am from Lancashire, and I haven't got a proper Lancashire accent anymore. That went a few years ago, I'm afraid, because proper Lancashire, of course, is surprised to hell about everything all the time. And real issues in a shoe shop, couldn't believe it, were great. Put tin of peas, looked inside, there were peas, it were great. My favourite accent at the moment is the South African accent. I love the fact that the South African accent is just... You know when you used to record records in the 70s backwards, and then when you played them backwards, they sounded forwards? That's what South African is, isn't it? It's just the record player backwards. "Hello, my name's Lee, and I'm from England." "Oh, my name's Dave, and I came from South Africa. I don't like you, get it, I don't like you living in London. It's too expensive. It's too expensive, and I don't like it. Kill your parents, kill them, Beelzebub, kill your parents." Whereas the Australians, they just sound like a record that won't start properly. "Where are you from, mate?" "Oh, I'm from Melbourne, mate." "And how long have you lived there?" "About 14 fucking years, mate. I fucking love it, mate."
I am quite impressed at the number of sports that have been adapted for disabled people, though. It's nice that they are so inclusive these days. I reckon we should go further and adapt versions of classic board games as well. You could play a very special edition of Guess Who, where all the characters had disabilities. No one would ever win, because everyone would be too afraid to describe their character in case they caught offense. The questions would be fun as well. Is your person incontinent? Does your person have crayon around his mouth? Does your person have trouble speaking properly? Is your person Danny Dyer? You could also have a disabled version of Monopoly, where every space is just free parking. Speaking from the personal experience of a bloke with a disability, I think that the dating game is much harder for people like myself. I've tried speed dating. That didn't work. By the time I'd typed out a sentence, it's time to move on to the next person. And I'm not looking for sympathy either. I'm just using emotional blackmail to try to get someone to sleep with me. I'll be in the bar afterwards, if any of you are interested. Yes, even you, sir. One of the main problems I have with dating is that I find it hard to approach girls in the traditional sense. I don't have the ability to chat up a woman. When I meet a girl, I have to type them up. And that just sounds wrong. You type up your dissertation, you type up your will, and you type up your letter to your grandma. There's nothing sexy about being typed up. Even if there was, when you're typing excitedly to a woman, and accidentally spell something wrong, autocorrect is a ducking nightmare. For example, I once asked a girl if she had a pen I could borrow, so I could write down her number. I didn't expect it to say, "Can I borrow your penis?" So you can imagine my surprise when she pulled it out right in front of me. It's at this point in my set when I like to remind people that I'm not related to Stephen Hawking in any way. In fact, the closest I have ever come to being Hawking is when I went to see The Theory of Everything at the cinema. It's the movie about Stephen Hawking and his life. I didn't go to watch it, though. I just went so that I could sit at the back, say random sentences on my iPad, and fuck with the rest of the audience.
My eldest daughter bought a boy ointment recently for the first time, and I think it's quite safe to say that I reacted rather badly to this incident when it took place. She brought the individual in question into the house that I paid for with money I earned. Right, Dad, this is Billy. Yeah, Billy. Right, nice, yeah. Okay, yeah, Billy. Sweet, I'll go and put the kettle on. Daddy's going to talk to Billy. She goes to the kitchen, she doesn't realise anything's wrong. And I start reversing this little bastard around the house. Because when you're my size, you can reverse smaller men. They just back off you like that. So eventually I'll get Billy into a wall. He can't go any further. And I'm like, William. If you as much as touch her, I will cut you. At which point, young Billy started crying. But that is 6-year-olds for you, because they can't really, you know? That was the joke. This is the true version of events. How can I start this? Okay. So, the other day, my wife and I had a meeting that I did not know was a meeting. I got in, and there was tea, and there was biscuits. And I thought, brilliant. And I sat down, and I'm drinking, oh, Viscounts, I love them. Oh, didn't even take the foil off. Oh, these are, oh, my. Love a Viscount. And she goes, yeah, we got to have a chat about Emily. I'm like, yeah, all right, yeah, what's going on? She goes, yeah, she's having a sleepover on Friday. And I should have pointed out earlier that this is just after my daughter turned 16. That's a very important number to bear in mind. She said, yeah, Emily's having a sleepover on Friday. I went, all right, do you want me to buy pizzas? No. Because there's only one person coming. Oh, right. Right, shall I just buy one pizza? Stop talking about pizza. She's having a sleepover and it's Stephen. What, the boyfriend? Yeah. Oh, where's he going to sleep? In Emily's room. Where's she going to sleep?
Incredible to think, isn't it? But the Chinese language started off as English in England. Then one person whispered it to another person.
Bit of a weird day today. I found a hole in the back of my wardrobe. I went through to a strange and mysterious land where my neighbor was sitting in the bath. What else can I tell you about myself? I like my tea, like my women. Big, black, and with a penguin. Obviously, I'm Caucasian. Yes, my mum's from a city in Ireland and my dad's Japanese. Couldn't sleep last night. I was too hot. Then the smoke alarm went off. Put it on snooze. Then the phone went off. Picked it up, a voice said, "Can you speak?" I said, "How did you think this conversation was going to work?" Then I recognized the voice of my mother, the very woman who taught me to speak in the first place. She said, "Listen, it's your dad." I said, "That is the worst impression." Do you ever have a conversation with someone and towards the end they say, "Well, I'll let you go"? You think, "Yeah, thanks." "Oh, I see what you're saying. You're trying to make me think that you think that I've got better things to do." But in reality, you're saying that you've got better things to do. Well, next time someone says to you, "I'll let you go," say, "No." Shut the door. If they make a sudden dive for the window, grab them by their ankles. As they're dangling 4 stories over the car park, screaming, "This has all been a terrible mistake." Say, "Okay, I'll let you go." So it turns out, not all horses are Trojan horses. I know that now. That was a messy afternoon. Health and safety, that's a minefield, isn't it? Don't tell them. I used to work in IKEA, selling over 7,000 different items. Give me a number between 1 and 7,000, I'll tell you about it. 8, sorry, out of stock. Well, it's not easy traveling around all the time, being on the road. Oh, no. The AA, RAC, green flag. Don't get me started.
I just celebrated 9 years of marriage just the other day. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Thank you, guys. Thank you. 9 years married to the same person. Jesus Christ, man. Listen, man, I'm just glad I'm no longer dating. I'm glad. Because dating right now is the ghetto. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not easy to date. And you know what? The thing about dating is every time I see someone out, I'm like, how are you affording this? You know what I'm saying? It's a cost of living crisis. When I see people out eating food, I'm just like, I don't know how you're doing this. Even I'm on TV, and I still take my wife to the local chip shop. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you're not getting this Taskmaster money. No. Nah, man. The dating. Back in the day, I used to get rejected a lot because I'm short. You know what I'm saying? Short guys, yeah, we don't get no love, man. Short guys. I'll be on the phone talking to girls, and I'll be like, you know, "Yeah, biz, I want to take you out." She'll be like, "Oh, my God, how tall are you?" I'll be like, "Yeah, I'm 5 foot." Hello? Hello? I am happy I am married, and I've got 2 wonderful children. Me and my wife got 2 beautiful children, 8 and 1, right? Now, the 8-year-old, that's a boy, right? And my boy is crazy. Make some noise if you got sons in the building, make some noise. So you know what I'm talking about. Boys are crazy, right? It's not just me. Have you ever just looked at your boy and been like, what the hell are you doing? Every day, all right? My son is obsessed with superheroes. He loves superheroes, right? Which is a bit weird in our household because we're like devout Christians, like especially my wife. We love going to church, right? My wife is definitely getting into heaven, 100%. Like, hopefully, I'm her plus one. I hope, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be like, no, I'm with her. No? Okay, cool. You know what I'm saying? The reason why I bring that up is because last year, Halloween, my son, he wanted to go trick-or-treating, right? Which is a bit weird in our household. Again, we're Christians. And he was just like, Mom, I want to dress up as a superhero. And my wife was just like, there is no superhero in this house other than Jesus Christ. So she dressed him for Halloween as Jesus Christ. This guy went out trick-or-treating, giving out bread and wine. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's like, God bless you. Yeah, God bless you too. Oh, God bless you. One day, me and my son, we were at home. We're by ourselves, right? I'm downstairs, I'm watching TV. My son is upstairs, right? He's doing whatever he's doing, right? And it got silent. And you guys know what happens when it goes silent with a child. It means they're doing something they should not be doing, right? And then out of nowhere, I hear a loud thud, just boom. I'm like, oh God, what's that? And then my son's just like, Daddy! So I run to the hallway, and my son is standing at the top of the staircase, dressed in a DIY superhero outfit, right? And he's just standing there, he's like, look, Dad, I'm a superhero. And I was like, uh-oh. I was like, son, you might want to take that off before your mom comes home, all right? And he's just like, no, Dad, look, I can fly. And as soon as he said that, I'm not gonna lie, it got slow motion in my house. I was like, no. And my son was like, a part of me was just like, let me let him fly so he can break his legs, you know what I'm saying, and calm down.
American consumerism is based on just taking out late-night ads and pretending that you're mentally deficient. Just screaming at the top of your voice. Come on down to Wally's World of Mortgages. That's right, we've got mortgages. I'm crazy. The boss left with the keys. I'm by the safe. I don't even work here. We're going to give you a mortgage. Even if you've never heard of the word mortgage, come on down here, we're going to give you one. Can't pay us back, won't pay us back, we don't give a shit. Even if you're a trailer park crack whore popping babies out of your womb like self-rising biscuits, come on down here now, you're a homeowner. People, let's go take advantage of that guy. He seems nuts. It's the Ab Crunch Spectacular, whole infomercial devoted to the biggest piece of shit ever perpetrated on the public. It's the Ab Crunch Spectacular. You can have a washboard stomach in 12. Who needs a washboard stomach? Gonna play hillbilly bluegrass music right off your stomach there? It's shit! Hi, I'm Chuck Norris. I used to pummel vaguely Middle Eastern-looking guys for a living. Now I'm selling this piece of shit Velcro nailed to an old ski. Flip it over, it's a canoe. Turn it inside out, it's a lady's evening dress. It's shit! You can have it by tomorrow. Of course you can, because it's a big piece of shit. That's what we do in America. We make lots of crap, but we deliver it really, really fast. Good things come to those who wait, but shit pretty much shows up right away, doesn't it? Pick up the phone. I like the Ab Crunch, bing bong. That was fast. Wacka, 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 wacka. I'd love to tell you things are better in America, ladies and gentlemen, but, you know, I don't really know. It's, we have a fantastic president, but most Americans just want to see his birth certificate. Show us your birth certificate, Obama. Because, you know, I know there was I watched the elections here, and I kind of watched them. I kept an eye on them. I didn't get the full brunt of it. Basically, I left the country for a while. Gordon Brown was in charge. I came back. Now, apparently, the country's being led by 2 gay antiques dealers. I don't know how that happened. But at least they're getting along. As Americans, let me explain it to you. There's 2 parties in America. You probably know this. There's Republicans and Democrats. The Republicans are called the red states. Democrats are the blue states. The blue states are generally either on the West Coast or on the Atlantic seaboard. So basically, Democrat is anyone who's seen water. If you go to America, find a Republican and take him to the beach. And even the Republicans hate each other now. So they have a splinter group called the Teabaggers, the Tea Party, Teabaggers. whose leader, of course, is Sarah Palin, future presidential candidate, who spent 2 years governing 8,000 square miles of snow and would occasionally nip out at lunch to blow the head off a moose from 300 yards away. That's presidential material. Another woman who's moved to the forefront, running for a senator from Delaware named Christine O'Donnell, who's running on a platform of anti-masturbation. She actually wants to make masturbation illegal. I give that law 6 minutes. Because the Bible says it's wrong. These are exact words. Well, if my husband has figured out how to please himself, why am I in the picture? I got news for you. You're not. No man ever whacked one out of the ballpark thinking of his wife, ladies and gentlemen. You'd be thinking of anything. You'd be thinking of a 300-pound Bavarian milkmaid strapped over a barrel, or you banger with a kayak paddle wearing a Burger King paper crown and making a call you Mr. King Big Daddy Spanky Bottom. As you're about to shoot a ropey parabola of man jizz onto her ham-hock buttocks, David Hasselhoff walks in dressed as a Luftwaffe pilot and says you've got a tax refund coming. And if that's wrong, I don't want to be right.
I went out recently on a shopping expedition to buy 1 carrot. Right, that was all I wanted, a single carrot. My wife was cooking. She wasn't just cooking that. She had a recipe of which that was a component. She wasn't just going to cook the carrot. There you are, like an ice lolly. It was more ambitious. And I tend to. She tends to do most of the cooking. I'm aware. Some people are thinking, I doubt he's got a wife. I bloody have. There's no time to prove it, but just take my word for it. There we are. I own a woman. So she. You can't say that these days, can you? Anyway, so to get on to more politically correct ground, my wife does all the cooking. Actually, it's actually true. I pretty much let my wife cook, but purely because it's a just sensible distribution of skills. My wife is a good cook, and I'm very poor at it. So my wife tends to do the cooking. I think it's quite an enlightened attitude, you know. I think these days cooking tends to be quite a sort of testosterone-dominated field. It's all your Gordon Ramsay, Marco Pierre, all these people, you know, Jamie Oliver. It's all men. I think someone should be modern enough to say, let's get women cooking. You know, let's be 21st century about this. They've got the same rights as we have in the kitchen. So my wife sent me out to a dangerous gag. No, I wouldn't clap that. That's sort of more clever than funny, really. So my wife was cooking, and I'm happy with my role, which is basically, you know, just foraging. But I went to buy this one, I say foraging, it's very much, normally if you go to Tesco, you will lay hands on a carrot. There's no real jeopardy there. Still, I like to pick it up and go, you got it! You know, but actually, well, this is my point. It was surprisingly hard to buy a bloody carrot, right, for a start. So I took it to the till. This is all I was buying, 1 carrot. First of all, this lady tried to put it in a bag for me, and I always try, you know, to not take a bag if I don't need one for environmental reasons, but they're furious. You'll have tried doing this. If you say, I don't need a bag, they look at you like, how dare you? This woman she said, what are you going to do? I was like, well, I don't want to appear cocky here, but I've got 2 hands, there's only 1 carrot. I think I will nail this. I'm almost certain I'll get this home by hook or by crook. What am I going to do? Just walk around with 1 carrot in a bag? I've got my carrot in a bag, yeah. How's your day? Yeah, great, just walking with my carrot in its bag. I've got a piece of celery at home and a little bit of Tupperware as well. So, I don't want to make out I'm someone with a repertoire of vegetables that I walk... Anyway, then there's a receipt. She insisted on printing out a bloody receipt, and which meant the till roll had to be changed. Why? Why do you need a receipt for this transaction? All I'm buying is a single carrot. Why would you ever need a receipt? You're not going to bite into it and think, hang on, this is a pear. Right? It's basically, buying a carrot can't go that badly wrong. So by now I'm really impatient. I was frothing with impatience. I wanted to get home, see my wife, whether she exists or not. And finally, just when I thought I had finally secured this carrot, as I was walking out, this girl said, excuse me, sorry, before you go. So now I have to listen. I said, yes? She said, did you want to pre-order the Harry Potter DVD? Now, what part of my actions so far will give you that impression? I was trying to be polite. I said, sorry? She said, by now she's impatient, like I'm some sort of idiot. Did you want to pre-order the Harry Potter DVD? I mean, no, not really. My aim was to buy a carrot, and I would say I've achieved that modest aim. I mean, if I wanted to buy a Harry Potter DVD, what I'd probably do is go to somewhere like HMV, for example. I'd go to a place where you can buy DVDs. I'd pre-order it. When the time came, I would collect it. I'd take it home. I'd watch it. I wouldn't approach this transaction by going to a supermarket, seizing a carrot from the fruit and veg bit, and then standing there at the checkout thinking she knows what I really want here. She'll gather my true intentions. She knows that this carrot is a sort of metaphor for an orange wand.
My housemate, he's weird, 35 years old, still draws a little line on his milk in marker pen to know where the level was. I think that's stupid, but I get my own back, I buy my own milk, and I use that to top his milk up just above the line. Just fucking with his head, slowly. He's confused, he's looking at it, he thinks the milk is growing. I have sat and watched him Google the phrase, does milk expand? I'm in there. And my side of the fridge, it's looking pretty good at the minute. I don't mean to brag so early on, but I've got goo puddings in there. Yeah, I'm doing all right. If you don't know what a goo pudding is, let me explain them to you. They're these posh little puddings. They come in a glass ramekin. You eat the pudding, then you wash out the ramekin, and you look at it, and you think to yourself, I'll do something with this. I'm going to do something with this ramekin. Tell you the first thing you do, you put it in a drawer with 25 other unused goo ramekins. I've got a drawer in my kitchen. It's got 10 goo ramekins and a packet of Imodium. I don't want to know what that is for. Anyone taking Imodium tonight? Wow, a lot of you. Horrible interval, I imagine. I think Imodium is the best medication. Stops you shitting yourself, but crucially, it's got some of the funniest potential side effects on the packet. If you look on the side of an Imodium packet, it says, if you take Imodium, you may suffer from a loss of libido. Like, oh, the diarrhea does that for me. Well, I'm not worrying about my sex drive when I'm shitting myself like this. What sort of psychopath is mid-diarrhea? Reading the words, lose my libido? No, thank you, then. I'm feeling pretty sexy and confident at the minute. Whoa-ho! Going out tonight, might get lucky in between these frequent, horrendous toilet stops. I don't know. It's hard being a northerner living in London. That's my situation at the minute. I'm a northerner living in London. I get patronised all the time. People hear my accent, they assume I'm stupid, rather than getting to know me and working it out that way. And look, a lot of the time, they are right. I only found out 2 years ago that American people call aubergines eggplants. 2 years ago, I found that out. I found it out because I overheard 2 American people talking about eggplants, and my first thought was, these 2 absolute morons. An eggplant? I think they're trying to say chicken. An eggplant? You're calling a cow a beef tree? What's wrong with you? Yep, hands up, I'm the idiot in that situation, fair enough.
The most sexually adventurous thing I ever did, I did it when I was single. When I was single, I ordered the #1 vibrator on the Love Honey website. And the Love Honey website is a sex toy website, for those of you pretending not to know. I kind of ordered it out of spite, right? Because one of my exes called me a prude, which I think is such an extreme thing to call someone. I don't think I did anything to warrant that. The only thing I can think of maybe is once I said that I don't like morning sex. That's not a big deal. That doesn't mean that I'm not sex positive. I just don't think you should do something that disgusting in the morning. Not whilst the blackbird is singing his morning tune. But I went on the website. It was late at night. I just ordered the first one on the list because I thought that will be good. That will probably be quite nice. The thing that arrived is so terrifying. It plugs directly into the wall. It has one of those on the end of it. It uses mains electricity. It needs to be pat tested. I just find that so threatening, because I think what that's basically saying is, what I'm about to do to you couldn't possibly be done with a battery. I'm gonna need that same stuff that powers your fridge. It's huge, it's bigger than this. It looks like a piece of farming equipment from the Industrial Revolution. But it's called a wand. There is nothing magical about it. I've never seen this type of vibrator before. All the vibrators that I've seen advertised online are very small and portable, and they're not making big claims. They're just happy to live in your bedside drawer, and they'll be there like, okay, girl, I'm here if you need me. Like, if you and your partner get like super, super drunk one night, maybe you could experiment with me for a little bit. Honestly, I might not do anything, but I might speed things along for you a little bit. Either way, no worries if not. Whereas my vibrator is just next to the bed like, do you want to meet God? Not really. It doesn't even fit in the bedside drawer. It's just curled up on the floor like a python. And after it arrived, I was like, is this the right thing? Because I checked on the website, because I thought maybe it got mixed up with like an order meant for Guantanamo Bay. It was the right thing. Not only that, I read the description for the first time. It said in the description, this is the world's most powerful vibrator. I don't think I need that. I need absolute max, a whisper on the wind. The world's most powerful vibrator. You shouldn't be able to buy that without a license. Underneath as well, it said, the vibrator will turn off automatically after 20 minutes for your safety. 21 minutes and there's a danger of death. I don't even want to share. It cost £90. So I felt like I had to try it because I spent so much money. And I don't even have a plug next to my bed. I had to get the extension cable. That felt desperate. I turned it onto the lowest setting. It had 8 settings. I turned it onto setting 1. It was so loud. I was like, there's nothing private about this experience. The neighbours are going to think I'm having a new kitchen put in. At midnight, they're going to call the council. Well, no, they're not calling anyone. They don't have any power right now. I tried it just for like 1, maybe 2 seconds, and I was like, I can smell burning. I can't use this thing. It's going to sand me down. It's going to erode. I'm going to be flat over. There'll be nothing left like Barbie. But it had 8 settings. I thought, I have to see what setting 8 does. Not on myself. I know my limits. I just turned it up to setting 8 in the sky. Fuck me. I was like, I'm going to rip a hole in the space-time continuum.
I'll be honest with you, folks. I was involved with a man a few years ago, okay? More than 10 years ago, I was involved with a man. But because it's more than 10 years ago, I don't want to say I'm bisexual now. I haven't been bummed in a decade, yeah? I feel like you need to renew your certificates. Can't just go around dining out on former glories while practitioners of bisexuality are out there. Front lines, out of order to them. Consequences. And I feel like that's happening a lot now. A lot of straight people are trying to claim they're a little bit more gay than they are just to seem interesting, yeah? I'm a bit gay. Are you, though? Have you been bummed? I'm a bit gay. Yeah, come on, let's hear it. I was talking to a guy at a party, right? He told me he was bisexual because he'd had a couple of gay thoughts. I've had thoughts about volunteering. Have I volunteered? Have I fuck? And therefore, I am not a volunteer. It's quite straightforward. I can't walk up to volunteers outside a soup kitchen and say, yeah, I've thought about doing that. Me and you are one and the same. Have a great day. I'm off to have fun while we both volunteer. It's out of order. But the LGBTQ is getting mentioned more now. We're being represented in the media. I feel like that's good. It's getting talked about. Footballers sometimes wear the thing on their arm. But sometimes you're thinking, is this a company just being a little bit, do you know what I mean? Just being a bit naughty and trying to seem, okay, you're on side. All right, I was outside Sainsbury's. On the window, it said, Sainsbury's proudly supports the LGBTQ. And I'm thinking, how exactly does this play out, Sainsbury's? What is this support you're talking of? Do you send your reps down to gay orgies? To cheer them on from the side? Go on, son, that's it, put it in the bum. Yeah. The hairy one, that's it. Yeah, that's right. Do you want a bag for that, boys? Hey, girls, do the scissors thing or whatever it is you do, yeah? So they all taste the same, or can you taste the difference? Sainsbury's supports this. Good for you. Or is their support more subliminal? It's more like in-store, little things you don't think you realise you've seen. You know, like you go up to the sausage roll aisle. It used to be in packs of 1, now it's packs of 2, tip to tip. So that when you do see two cocks going at it, you think, where have I seen that? I've seen that somewhere before. That's fine, because I know that. I've seen that. But, you know, to be honest, when I was involved with this guy, it wasn't about him being a guy, it was about the connection we had, right? I didn't really care about his gender, which I guess makes me a pansexual back then, but I didn't stick, so I'm more like a non-stick pan.
Let's lighten the mood a little bit. Let's talk about terrorism. Terrorism... Listen, one of my main issues with terrorism is simple, all right? It's got people that have known me my entire life doubting my credibility, all right? It's mad thing. And I want to let you know, all right? You guys are a little bit worried at the moment. I'll make it explicit for you. I am not a member of ISIS, all right? I'm not, okay? I have nothing to do with those people. I don't follow their ideology. That's because I've got 6 months left on my Al-Qaeda membership. I'm a lot... Where did they go? My gosh. I'm going to get some water, all right? Flip me, it was a bad choice wearing this heavy-ass jacket, you know what I mean? And you know what, actually? Ooh, it's squirting all over the place. I tell you what is the biggest threat to Muslims on the face of the planet today, all right? Dehydration. We cannot carry around clear liquids in a bottle anywhere, all right? Exactly. Dying up here on this stage, dying in airplanes, stressing me out. But the thing about, listen, hey, can I pop this here? Bruv, can you have that? Thank you, my G. One of the worst things about terrorism is how it's got people doubting my credibility. People I've known my whole life, all right? I want to give you an example. I've got a neighbor, okay? She's called Maud. She's known me for 27 years. And because of the media narrative, the way that the media portrays Muslims, minorities, Black Lives Matter, the world is very divisive. Who in this room just wants to live and get along? Make some noise. Exactly, we all want to, all right? But the media has got people doubting me, all right? So I've had my neighbor 27 years. We've got it's a nice, simple thing. It's a neighborly thing to do, all right? A regular Friday wheelie bin ritual. We grab the wheelie bin, drag it down to the end of the driveway, have a quick natter, go back in. It's what neighbors do, innit? It's what neighbors do, all right? This particular Friday, Maud is like clockwork, but she was late. And I'm thinking, rah, is Maud okay? I hope she's all right. Usually she's like, the bin was stinking of shit, but I thought, you know what, I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna be a good neighbor and have this conversation. Boom. 3 minutes later, boom! She kicks open the door. She's stressed. She's flustered. I said, Maud, is everything okay? She says, now, Gus, everything is far from all right. Have you seen the news? I'm like, listen, Maud, a lot of my cousins are on there. I don't watch that shit. You know that. Bring back a lot of bad memories for me, Maud. She says, Gus, it's the ISIS. I-Z-I. She's from Birmingham, that's how she spells it. It's the ISIS. They've been doing terrible bloody terrorisms again, them lot. I was like, yo, Maud, listen, that's bad. I don't agree with those people, and, you know, I hope they're brought to justice. She says, you say that, Guzzy, yeah? But you got to tell me something, babes. You're nothing like them, are you? I said, what? Maud, you know me 27 years, baby. I'm nothing like them. Stop buying into the media narrative. Stop buying into the news. I'm me, Guz, your neighbour. She says, I know you say that. It's just that from very specific angles. This is a very Bin Laden look you've got going on there. I said, hey, I don't even look like that guy. Very racist. She says, Guz, I know, I'm just being silly. But you just do me one more favour though, babes, okay? It's just more for my rod, really, yeah? If you hear anything about it before the news does, just let me know.
This year, I did no lilt February. Thank you. I know, it sounds impossible, but you take it one day at a time. Did I have any today? No, you're a legend. It gets hard around the middle of the month, you get the cravings. It's called lilt guilt. You're like, oh, I bloody love the lilt. It's the night where you go to the shop at midnight, you kick the doors in, where's the lilt? And they're like, we don't stock it anymore. Like, ah! So you try and make your own hooch lilt, you know, you get a pineapple and a grapefruit, and you add in batteries and a horse's head, and you're like, it's good, but it's not totally tropical. Did that joke in America recently. Turns out they don't have lilt there. This is all I do. Imagine if this was your actual... I go like blah, 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 and you go, ah, ha, 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 money. I can't believe I get away with it. You do actual, proper London jobs. You know, like blacksmith, you know? Farrier. Brunch DJ. The big three. I tell you, I do not trust people who work in offices. I know, right? What are they doing? Nothing takes that long. They're planning something. They must be. Do you know? Do you ever call in to visit your friend in an office unexpectedly? Everyone just shits themselves. They're like, what's he doing here? Cover the screen, lie across the spreadsheet, get him out. Kind regards, warm regards, best. That's how they talk. I've seen the email. I know what it's like in the real world. Look, sometimes I check in your world. Oh, gross, back to showbiz. And... No, I'm very self-aware of the level of fame that I have. I was in a supermarket recently, and an older lady came up to me, and she put her hands on my shoulders, and she said, you are vaguely familiar. And that is it. In Wrexham, and I was at an ATM machine, and a guy cycled by and he shouted at me, surprised to see you at an ATM machine, and I've been obsessed with it since then. What did he mean? Like, on the one hand, is he surprised I don't have a butler to go to the ATM machine for? No, I think it's the opposite. I think I'm surprised you have any money whatsoever doing keyboard horse shit. Here's my greatest ever showbiz tale. I did a gig in your Milton Keynes recently, thank you, and I was staying in the Milton Keynes Hilton, and she is the least well-known of all the Hilton sisters. And I checked in after the gig at like 12:30. Room 303 is where this took place. Opened the door, TV on in the room. Not that uncommon in the chain hotels. I guess it's to welcome you. But get this, on the TV is me playing the shitty keyboard on some show. Immediate thought is like, is this a service they provide to all guests? If so, no, it's the realization, this is it. I've arrived. And I waltz into the room, down the little corridor with the loo away to the left. And as the room opens out, there is a fully naked man lying on the bed. So they've given me the key to someone else's room. But he is lying there, watching me on the TV. And he looks up. To think of something smart. What I say is like, oh shit, sorry about it. I could have said anything and I'd be a legend. I could have been like, oh, you enjoying this? Ah, no boner. And just walked out of it.
Nurse girl, could I have the psychological profile now, please? This is... Did you see something awful then? How awful. Would you like to take Lee over that side? Nick, you come over this side. I want you to look up at the screen. I'm going to show you 3 images, and I'd like you to tell me which one you'd rather spend the evening with. Excuse me, Mr. Jelly. Would you rather spend the evening with number 1, a teddy bear, number 2, Tom Cruise, or number 3, a large courgette? Which one are you going to go for?
I'll go for teddy bear.
You're going for the teddy bear. You're going to play safe. Let your arms hang loosely by the side. That's right. Going over here now to the Navy, where the food is obviously a lot nicer. Excuse me, Dale. Similar arrangement for you, Lee. Would you rather spend the evening with number 1, a hot water bottle, number 2, Jude Law, no stains on the upholstery, please, or number 3, a large sprig of purple-headed broccoli? What's it to be?
The purple head wins all the time.
It does? Excellent. Would you like to now join me back in the middle? Lee and Nick, come over here. Some straightforward questions now, just to find out a bit more about you. What's your favourite aftershave?
I don't wear aftershave.
You don't? Deodorant?
Sure.
Let's have a little sniff. Oh, you do smell quite fresh, Gail. Would you like to? No, nothing musty there at all. What's your favourite aftershave, Lee?
It's brute for me, Julian.
Is it brute? Any on this evening?
Just a touch.
Oh, that's lovely. Just a faint aroma there. Would you wait until you're asked, please? And finally, what's your favourite position, Nick?
Doggy.
Doggy style. What sort of dog do you have? Your favourite position?
Reverse cowboy.
Reverse cowboy. Laughing at your own jokes there. It's like you're on stage with Billy Connolly. Now then. Right, that's it, Nurse Girl. Could I have the rubber glove now, please? For medical reasons, I'm obliged to conduct an internal examination. Thank you very much. Could I have the swabs at once? Here they come. All sterilised, open wide. Oh, I say. Lots of room in there, isn't there? What a waste. And Lee. There we are. Perfect. Get those under the microscope at once. Take Lee over to his screen. Nick, come over here. Let's see the results of your swab test first, please. Okay, nothing to worry about there. Just a couple of common or garden microbes. It's almost as if someone just filmed a lava lamp. Now, the sailors' results, please. Not very nice, is it? Didn't waste your evening, obviously.
I started learning French really young at the age of 8 or something in primary school, and our French teacher, to help it sink in our brains, used to play little games with us. And one of the games was that we had to draw a name out of the hat, and that would be our French name for the rest of term, yeah? So I withdrew Marcel, and she taught me that if anyone ever asked the question, comment tu t'appelles, my response should be, je m'appelle Marcel, right? Now, I got all the way to degree level and 2 trips to Paris with that knowledge, and no one ever corrected me. And I went in on my first day of the lecture, and the professor goes, bonjour, comment tu t'appelles? I thought, well, this is going to be a very easy course. I went, bonjour, je m'appelle Marcel. He's like, no, comment tu t'appelles? And I went, je m'appelle Marcel. He's like, no, comment tu t'appelles? And I went, je m'appelle Marcel. He's like, no, comment tu t'appelles? I went, je m'appelle Marcel. He's like, no, comment tu t'appelles? I was like, je m'appelle Marcel. He's like, no, comment tu t'appelles? Je m'appelle Marcel. He's like, no, comment tu t'appelles? Je m'appelle Marcel. He's like, no, comment tu t'appelles? And I went, what is wrong with you? You said you were French. I went, je m'appelle Marcel. He's like, no, comment tu t'appelles? What is your name? I was like, je m'appelle Marcel. My name is Stephen. So educated. And as part of our course, yeah, we had to do a year abroad. Hold on. Gap year. We did, Jimmy. We had to do a year abroad, right? So I moved to the south of France for a year, and I'm dating myself with this reference, I do know. But I thought it would be like a Hilary Duff film, right? Do you know where I'd like move to the south of France, get a job in a little boulangerie, fall in love, move into the guy's chateau, and never have to come and perform in Hammersmith? Do you know what I mean? And me and my friends all had a bit of a dream. Like my friend Kate, she's married to a guy now called Florent and lives in Nice. That was my dream, bitch. My friend Sam got with a guy while we were there, and his name was Nicolas. And I even got with a guy while we were there for one term, and his name was Kevin. It wasn't even Kevin. I went all the way to the south of France and found the only guy from Stockport. Just called me Sally Webster. And the thing I hated the most about doing that year abroad was I don't like flying. Give me a cheer if you like flying. Give me a cheer if you don't like it. Yeah, all the ones sat in the sky. I really hate it, yeah, because everyone's like it's the safest form of transport, but that's not true, is it? Because speak to someone that's been in a crash. And that is valid. That is really valid. And I've had to find my way of getting round it. You need hints, tricks, don't you? So my therapist said you just need to sit on the plane doing this. I get thrown off the plane if I do that, Julie. And the way I've been trying to get round it, hear me out, you're going to think I'm mad, right? Do you know sometimes when you look at someone and you think, like Aaron, I look at you and I go, you would never die in a plane crash. You've got that kind of face, you know, it's like, you're not going to go that way. Whereas some people, they've got that face where it's like, have you already been in one? And I flew to Dublin this year, and it was the best flight I'd ever had, right? Because I found someone like you, Aaron. I found someone. Peter Barlow from Coronation Street was on the flight, and I thought, Peter Barlow's not going to die in a Ryanair flight. He's already been through too much.
I asked her to marry me, she said no, for a laugh. Ah, ha, ha, ha. We were in a restaurant, and I remember the whole thing vividly. And here's another damning indictment as well on the state of our relationship. She told me this afterwards. Apparently, she knew I was going to ask her to marry me that day because, quote, I'd been really nice to her all day. Kind of feel a bit bad about that. We were in a restaurant. I remember I kept trying to get the conversation round to the subject of us. You know, and where we're going in our relationship and that sort of thing. Because you can't just go from a standing start to a proposal. You can't just go, you know, how's your dessert? Marry me? It's going to be a bit of finesse. And if you do, lads, try not to make it sound as needy as I just did there. Save a drowning man. That's not safe. we were in a restaurant, and I'm trying to get it, I'd say, onto that subject, subject of conversation. She, however, had about 3-4 glasses of white wine at this point, and Wurzel had his talking head on. She would not shut the hell up. And it wasn't that she just kept talking, she kept interrupting me and changing the subject. I went, so baby, you and me. It was a children's TV program. Never really cared for it. More of a heads and tails girl. Don't you know me at all? I mean, as a couple of tequilas, shots, whiskey, what do you want? Shut up! After 20 minutes of trying to talk about us and where we're going in our relationship and what the next step of our relationship should be, and her wanting to talk about anything but our relationship, I began to think, wow, this must be what it's like to be the woman in a relationship. Anyway, the old switcheroo. Anyway, eventually, I get onto the subject of us long enough to pop the question. I go, I'm asking you to marry me. And she says, no. And I say, what? On the outside. On the inside, I'm going, you what? And then she says to me, I swear to you, with tears rolling down her rosy Derbyshire cheeks, as she theatrically pushed the ring back across the table towards me, she goes, I can't marry you. And I went, oh. And she went, I'm only joking. What a beezer of a jape. Hey, what a top-hole A-grade wheeze. That's some funny shit right there. Ladies, not everybody's comedy show has to have a moral or a message or a meaning, but if mine had one, it would probably be something along the lines of, for Christ's sake, don't ever do that. And it's not just because it's mean, because obviously it's not the meanest thing you could do. The meanest thing you could do would be to do the opposite. That would edge it from meanness, wouldn't it? Will you marry me? I'd love to. Psych! That would be mean. If you're going to say yes, just say it, and say it quickly. None of this no for a laugh bullshit, because not only is it not funny, not only is it mean, also you'll be surprised how quickly a man's mind can work under stressful conditions. And you don't want his brain going the place it's going to go. From the time she says, I can't marry you, I was off. Like, oh, she doesn't want to marry me. That's a shame. I thought I was in there. Well, we may as well break up. Not a lot of point in continuing with what is quite clearly a farce of a relationship. I suppose I could buy her out of the house. Maybe we could sell the house, split the money down the middle. Get myself a little bachelor pad in the West End of London. Have the lads round for drinks every night. God, it's been ages since the lads came round for drinks, hasn't it? Yeah. Maybe not even London. Maybe I'll move back to Ireland or move up to Scotland. Oh, you know what? I'll go to the States. I'll call that agent that I met in Montreal. Get that ball rolling. Go to LA. Try and break the States. To hell with LA. I'll go to Vegas. I'll become a lounge act. I won't make a lot of money, but I'll shag dancing girls every day and take drugs every night. I'll be dead by the time I'm 50, but I'll have a laugh. I'll do what I like. I'll do whatever the hell I want with my life. I'm only joking. Oh.
I was in France a couple of years ago. Had to stop to use the loo at a little service station by the road. I knew it wasn't going to be a 5-star experience from the moment I walked in there. The lady in the kiosk was eating a pig's trotter with her one remaining tooth. Like watching a chipmunk try to eat a piece of corn on the cob. I approached her, and of course, as a proud Remainer, I said to her in my best French, Où est le bug? She went, it's round the back. It is round the back. So I went round the back, and there it was, a little shed. I thought, here we go. And I opened the door. Voila! Squatty potty! Throw up, France! Anyway, there was nowhere else to go, so I had to go in. I had to use it. So I went in and I closed the door, and it was brilliant because somebody had attached a rope to the back of the door. So you could essentially abseil down into the squatting pool. I mean, that is a Centre Parks activity right there, isn't it? You'd pay for that. bungee jump. Brilliant. I did notice I was getting a little bit more nervous as a traveller on recent flights I've taken. In your 20s, you don't care, do you? Like that, I'll live forever. I'll live forever, me. I'm going to live forever. As you get older, you start to really pay attention to the safety announcements on planes. It becomes more urgent. You're more aware of your own mortality. You know, they'll start the announcement. I will definitely pay attention, absolutely pay attention. The glasses go on, the headphones come off. Book goes down, notebook comes up. I'm like, oh. Last flight I was on, it got to that point, we've all heard it 1,000 times. We've all heard it 1,000 times. They put the little life jacket on, right? They put the little life jacket on, and she said, and of course, in the event of landing on water, there is a whistle to attract attention. In the event of landing on water, there is a whistle. A whistle to attract attention. Now, I think for the first time in my life, I really took in that whistle. The fabric of that whistle, if you will, the being of that whistle, the ergonomics of that whistle. There is a whistle to attract attention. My brain had the very helpful thought. It thought, well, if we have landed on water, we have essentially fallen out of the sky from 30 to 40,000 feet in a not insignificant metal tube that may or may not be on fire. If that hasn't attracted attention, if everybody in the surrounding area has managed not to notice, and you are then reliant on... I got this.